Hello and welcome to the Nexus. Today we're discussing Star Trek Discovery. So in my last video you would have seen that I was discussing the cancellation of Star Trek Discovery. Some more information has come out since then and I want to just update everyone. Before as well I want to say that my video was entitled Cancelled. It was indeed cancelled. There was a lot of discussion within the groups about it's not been cancelled, it's reached its end, and I want to say that it was effectively cancelled. Some shows like Star Trek Picard were only ever to do 3 seasons. They only ever said that there was going to be 3 seasons, and that's coming to its natural end. Similar to some other stuff as well, some other series that have come out where they said they're only going to do 3 seasons of that, and they've always done 3 seasons. That's the sort of show that comes to its natural end. Shows that are cancelled are stuff where they're hoping to get a new show, or they're hoping to continue the story on and stuff like that, and then they find out they're cancelled. I just want to clarify the reason why I say that. Firstly, just before the announcement was made, the showrunner and the cast were all promoting and saying, especially on Twitter and places like that they were hoping to get a season 6, and they were hoping that season 5 would have been out this year. So if you're saying there's going to be a new season, I want there to be another one, effectively it hasn't come to an end. Even the people on the show found out while they were on the Star Trek cruise that it had effectively been cancelled. So it has been cancelled. You can bar it up how you like, but it has effectively been cancelled. With that said, some more information has come out. They've said that effectively the show was doing fairly well during viewership, so nothing to do with poor viewership. I've seen loads of videos out there all saying that it was the end, it was coming up to the end. It wasn't. It wasn't down to viewership. All this was down to is the money. And you could say, well, if it was making money, then surely it wouldn't have got cancelled. And you would think that, but you've got to think that Star Trek has probably a Pacific budget. I don't actually know that. But you've got Discovery, Picard. You've also got Strange New Worlds. You've got Star Trek Project E and Lower Decks. That's a lot of money there. And what they've basically come out and said, the reason they've cancelled Star Trek Discovery wasn't due to fans or viewership. It was actually due to money. And every season, it was taking more money to make. So, you know, the further they went, when they went to the 32nd century, they had to come up with sort of ways to do the show, which meant more visual effects, and it just became too expensive to keep producing, and that's fine. That doesn't mean that the show was rubbish, doesn't mean that the show was bad, or that the fans thought it was, or that the viewership was down. It just meant it was too much money to keep producing at the level that they wanted. And that's the only reason it's got cancelled, especially when they've got shows like Strange New Worlds on the horizon, and the other shows as well. I mean, Star Trek Picard probably, this last season of Star Trek Picard, probably ate up a lot of the budget that they had for the whole of Star Trek. When you think about it, the sets that they built, the CGI, and then the entire TNG cast back, as well as recurring characters. It'll be interesting to see if how much money actually Star Trek Picard was to produce over the other seasons and over Discovery as well. But effectively, Discovery got cancelled because it became too much to make. They could have simplified it. I mean, look, we all grew up in the Next Gen era or the TOS era, and we all knew that you could have made a decent Star Trek program on a much smaller budget, and people would have loved it. There was no need to go big and theatrical or anything like that. But it is what it is, and so Discovery's ending. But where do we go from there? Are we going to get another live action series? We know that the budget now for a lot of TV shows, it's not just Paramount Plus. We've got Netflix, Disney as well. They're also cancelling and shortening down a lot of the production that they're doing now over money fears. So it's sort of a global streaming problem here. I mean, YouTube just announced that they've going to up the YouTube premium price, and they're also cutting staff as well. Also means they're having money problems. Hey, the whole world at the moment is having money problems, so it's just something that's going on at the moment. But I want to know where they go from Discovery. They said it would cost too much money to make, and it looks like we won't be getting another series in the 32nd century. Just because it costs too much money digitally, too much money to produce a show that is so far ahead and needs that sort of investment in it. So my question is, where do we go from here? I know what shows I would like, but I want to know what you would like. So let us know in the comments on what shows you would really like to watch and what they need to make. Now, for me, personally, there is it's called the Lost Era. If you don't know what era that is, it's between the Undiscovered Country and the Next Generation. There is this massive gap. We know about the Enterprise D, we know about the Enterprise C, but there is a huge gap in Star Trek where they could make history, they could make things and put things in. There just seems to be a huge gap in the Lost Era there where they could fit in. There was no reason to go back like they did with Discovery, or forward like they did with Discovery. But I think what Star Trek Picard has shown us is that we want more shows going forward from there. I don't really know why they decided to go back or forth, though I do like Strange New Worlds, but that has also sort of tallied onto that as well. But it seems to be a much better show, more fluid and stuff like that. But hey, let us know what you think in the comments below. What you think on the on what we will get. I also want to just say as well why it's been extended. So what's happened is they've said it's too much to carry on making the series. But what we will do is we'll extend it. So I think we're going to get maybe another episode. So the series will be longer. I know that a lot of the cast now are coming back to do reshoots, so they can actually finish it instead of leaving it on maybe a cliffhanger, or just to sort of round up everyone on the show. I don't really know, but I do know that a lot of people have now gone back to do reshoots. That is why the date has been pushed from this year to next. And it is just what it is. I think going forward, I think not just for Star Trek, I think for, you know, a lot of Disney Plus and Netflix shows, I think stuff is just we're gonna get less content, I think, going forward. Not animated stuff, because animated stuff is a lot cheaper to make. So I think things like you know, Lower Decks and Project E, I think are completely safe. But it's the live action stuff that's costing a lot of money nowadays. But like I said, let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take it easy.